First of all, this song's cool too. You want to talk DAO? You want to talk DAOs? DAOs? DAO. The DAO. What is a DAO? The thing about knowledge is that once you gain it, and you understand things rather than memorize them, you understand something. You start to see the connections between all the other things you know. And you understand things at a deeper level because you take the time to understand certain things and just know them versus not just trying to remember them, knowing them. So that when something comes up, you see how your knowledge relates to it, not searching your knowledge. But your knowledge pops up to the forefront of your brain just saying, I know this about this, And you don't need to know that much stuff. That's the thing. And you don't need to know that much stuff. That's the thing. And you don't need to know that much stuff. That's the thing. The idea that there's all these things you need to know about is overwhelming. But it's not true. It's just not true. And those who tell you that is true are telling it to you because they don't want you to know that it's not true, because they have used it to their advantage to this point. If everyone knows everything, I can't, use them as leverage for me. The world is simpler than you think. You can understand it. You can apply principles to it and create value for yourself. But, they confuse you. DAOs. But, they confuse you. DAOs. But, they confuse you. DAOs. Are we talking about DAOs? Are we talking about DAOs? Things we did. Promises, promises. Knowing I believe. Promises, promises, you knew you'd never keep. You gave me, knowing I'd believe. Something like that. You gave me promises, promises, you knew you'd never keep. Lies. Unearned values. Unearned values. It's all the same. But how does that relate to DAOs? Distributed, autonomous organizations. 3 words. Distributed. Not centralized. Not the one, but the many. Right? That's Aristotelian. That's Wachowskian. That is the one. That is the Matrix, and that is Aristotle. From the many to the one to many. The idea of that. Particulars, abstractions, the good, the reflections, the imperfect reflections of the good. Particulars. Distributed. DAO. Distributed. It's all over. It's not one central server. It's distributed amongst everything. Okay. Amongst every node on the network. Right? Everyone connected to the matrix even. Distributed. autonomous. Auto. Nomos. Autonomous. Runs itself. Self-running. Does not require anything. It runs itself. It is distributed. It runs on its own. Organization. It's an organization of these distributed nodes working together autonomously, self-directed to an end. But as an organization, it is a political system, right? How to organize politics. How do we organize these distributed particulars together? So that is what a DAO is. How can a DAO be used? A DAO could be used for any type of organizing that benefits from the number of users, the number of participants in the group. If you do it because you benefit by being part of the group. So it is an organization, DAO, organization for the purpose, organized for the purpose of achieving a value that everyone mutually has agreed to is the value they're trying to achieve together. That is the organization. How can you do that? That gets done to be autonomous based on a set of rules. A set of rules to be followed. Those rules, by the nature, in order to give it the ability of this distributed organization to be autonomous, have to be objective rules. They have to be rules that, by their definition, by the definition of the object that is represented in the transaction, is an objective definition. If it is not objective, then it cannot work at all, at all, at all. I'm in DAOs part 2, part 2.